Yeah. Speaking of Americans abroad, long ball number 3, Americans on the move. At least 3 American players are rumored to be shuffling around. We'll lead off with the United States men's national team new, rising starlet forward Patrick Agyemang, rumored this week to be moving over to the English Championship. Derby County interested in Patrick Agyemang. I put this. It's another kind of one of those moments you think of him as this young, undeveloped player, but he's 24. I thought, is this too soon? Like too big a platform too early? But with his age, probably not, right?
No, I mean, if he's going to move, it needs to be now. I think we talked about that. If there is a place that feels like the right step for Patrick Agyemang, it might be the championship. The physicality of that league kind of matches up with his profile. You say that Derby County is interested. Derby County finished 19th in the championship this past season, but Ipswitch is also rumored to be interested in Patrick Agyemang, which is a different kettle of fish because they are obviously a relegated team that you would imagine would be in the fight for promotion in this next year in England. So the expectations would be higher at Ipswich than they are at Derby County, but maybe he helps lift Derby County. Which one would you prefer for a player who is still learning his craft? Rob?
I feel like Ipswich are less likely to be involved in a relegation scrap, but you can't say that too soon because Luton, in a similar position to Ipswich last year, they went double down, 2 straight relegations for Luton. But I think Ipswich is probably more exciting. I can't say that haven't really enjoyed watching a Derby County in a decade plus. They are, when I saw that name attached to Agyemang, I didn't necessarily get excited and think that is an aspirational move. Like, obviously he wants to move to the championship. I mean, but at the same time, I didn't like the Daryl DK to Barnsley move. That didn't seem like a shiny move, and he made the most out of that. So hard to say, but like at the surface, Ipswich probably has a bit more going for them. They have a little bit more positivity than Derby County right now, and probably are a little bit more aggressive and more realistically going to be in the playoff push. So I would go Ipswich there.
Nate, this seems harsh. Pat should be playing in the USL. I mean, I'm not sure why you're being so mean to him and not a fan, apparently. Okay, Nate's not a fan of Patrick Agyemang. Look, I don't think you have to be a fan of Agyemang to think that this is a good thing potentially for the U.S. men's national team. Now, then that's the prism through which we view this. You know, I mean, I guess if you can step outside of your fandom for the U.S. men's national team, then you would say, well, you know, Patrick Agyemang as a player, is this the right thing for him, right? Is this the thing that will help him be happy in life, I guess, like if you're just trying to connect with that part of it. And obviously, if you're a Charlotte fan, you're worried about this. I did see that the way the MLS roster rules work, Agyemang doesn't hit their salary budget. So this isn't like we sell him, we get a bunch of money in, and we get some cap relief and allows us to do other things. They're not suffering for having Agyemang on their roster right now. But I don't know that it's a good idea to stand in the way of players who do have an opportunity to make the move. Now, we don't know if Agyemang wants this. I don't know. We don't know if he thinks he's ready for this. Certainly, we don't want to see another Daryl DK where you go and you get hurt and you never play, and then it's just this cycle of depression around that player.
It was good before the injuries for DK.
It was, and I still think DK has a chance. He's actually, I think Daryl DK. Let me ask you this: do you think Daryl DK is older or younger than Patrick Agyemang?
I bet they're like the exact same age. I have a feeling the way you're phrasing that makes me think that they're the same age.
Daryl DK just turned 25 on June 3rd.
Ooh, so just very narrowly older than Patrick Agyemang.
But he's obviously so much more experienced than Agyemang because he was younger when he busted into Major League Soccer. He was younger when he was sold. Agyemang will turn 25 in November. So we're talking about 5 months, basically, of difference. But totally different in terms of the curve of their careers at this point.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Another player rumored to be on the move, one of the new upcoming starlets of this Gold Cup United States men's national team, and PSV Eindhoven, Malik Tillman, rumored to be going to Bayer Leverkusen, a Leverkusen team who has been stripped for parts and are probably eager to bolster their squad.
Yeah, this one's interesting because if it was like, oh, Xabi Alonso wants Malik Tillman, oh my gosh, we'd be excited about this. I mean, they just sold Florian Wirtz to Liverpool. Maybe there's a place for Malik Tillman to grow and find his way in the Bundesliga, which of course is where he started his career coming out of the Bayern Munich academy. But man, this is a totally different Bayer Leverkusen equation now. With Xabi gone, with Wirtz gone, it doesn't feel like it's going to be the same sort of world at Leverkusen. But at the same time, it's still the Bundesliga. It's still a step up. It still could be the opportunity for Malik Tillman to evolve Pokemon style into the next form, right, Robbie? If we want Malik Tillman to be what Gio Reyna could not be or is not when we get to the World Cup next year, him playing in the Bundesliga is a better proposition than him playing in the Eredivisie.
Oh, no doubt about that. No doubt about that at all. And so does he come from Malik to Malik when he does his evolve to like stage 1 Tillman?
Yeah, that might be what it is. We were talking about the pronunciation of his name. I think there's a story from last year in the Washington Post where he says, like, you know, in Germany they say Malik, but here they say Malik. And I've been going back and forth. If you noticed, I can't stay constant now. I can't stay consistent because I keep hearing people on TV say Malik, and I'm like, I don't think that. I thought it was Malik. But it doesn't matter. Either way, he's the same guy, or he's the same corporal form. And he look, again, this is a significant step up. A significant step up. And this is a team that will be in the Champions League again, right? So there's a potential for that as well. We should always want American players playing at the highest level possible. Like, I don't want to get into this negative cycle where we go, well, I don't know if he's ready. He had a really good year at PSV Eindhoven. I know there's some debate over whether he was the man and sort of had to carry the load or if he was a secondary player. No one's going to be asking him to be Florian Wirtz. That's not what's going to happen at Bayer Leverkusen. So I'm for this.
Yeah, fortune favors the bold, right? Another player trying to reach the heights of the game, Johnny Cardoso to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, another situation with Champions League football. Another significant step up within the same league, right? So this is a little bit of a different thing because Johnny knows La Liga, having been at Betis. So now he gets an opportunity to go to a much, look, the expectations are much higher. And while I am still not convinced that Johnny Cardoso is a key guy for the U.S. men's national team, because I haven't seen him do it yet at that level or on the international stage, he's clearly talented. He had a very good season at Real Betis. Atletico Madrid doesn't want him. Well, maybe they think they can sell some jerseys to Americans. I don't know. People always bring that up. How much is Johnny Cardoso selling shirts? Although, actually, if it says Johnny on the back of an Atleti shirt, I might have to buy one.
That'd be pretty cool. That would
be
pretty cool.
People will think I'm Johnny. Like, no, that's Johnny Cardoso. Johnny football. But no, I'm choosing to look at it this way, Rob. If Diego Simeone, a guy who's known for his playing career as a tough-nosed midfielder, who has turned Atletico Madrid, now maybe they're playing a little differently than they did for a long time, but turned them into a defensive powerhouse, just makes it incredibly difficult to score goals against them. If he's identifying a defensive midfielder and bringing him in for anything, and I think it's 30 million, I think this is a 30 million euro fee that they're talking about, then I'm going to put my faith in Cholo. I'm going to put my faith in Diego Simeone and believe that he knows what he's doing when they go out and they sign Johnny Cardoso.
Yeah, for any Americans wanting more heart and steel in the team, I mean, having a player coach under Diego Simeone seems like a way to harden that steel, and that would be pretty exciting. That's probably outside of Pulisic. I mean, that's got to be some of the highest tiered, club rumorings out there, right? I mean, is anyone getting more aspirational as far as the club destination that they're getting pinned to?
No, I mean, you would put Atleti above Bayer Leverkusen in terms of Malik Tillman's potential move. I will also throw in that, and this is actually obviously a step down. The story is that Nottingham Forest is making a play for Tim Weah. I think there's actually a package deal. They want 2 players from Juve, and they want to pay
they also
one
want
amount.
Jordan Henderson.
Well, I mean, they're still Nottingham Forest. Despite the season they had, they're still Nottingham Forest, and obviously that's a Conference League qualifier. Nottingham Forest, right? They drifted down and now they're going to be in the conference league. It's still European football, and so that's a big thing for Nottingham Forest. But and I don't know. There's something about Tim Weah maybe playing in the Premier League, and really, I think what this is he going to play? Like for all these guys, again, one of the calculations is will they play regular football? Malik Tillman going to Bayer Leverkusen. Okay, potential for some significant minutes, but I don't think anything's guaranteed there. Johnny Cardoso going to Atletico Madrid. Possible chance that he's kind of a secondary option there, but he's young enough. Who knows? Maybe again, he's proven he can do it in the league. That's a club that knows what they're doing in player acquisitions. They'll figure out. Yeah, in fact, this is a very good point. Bernardo Castellanos, Simeone transferred Hector Herrera for Mexico. He can do the same for Johnny, right? Turning Hector Herrera into a better player for Mexico by virtue of playing under Diego Simeone. Maybe that's something that's coming for Johnny Cardoso. We can only dream that that's the situation for him. So that's and Tim Weah going to Nottingham Forest. Does he play more than he would at Juve? Again, if this is Igor Tudor is a guy who doesn't love Tim Weah, well, then get Tim Weah out of there so he can find a place to play.
Exciting times ahead. We'll see what happens with those players. If you're watching right now, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Join the American soccer conversation here on Morning Kickaround. Take your support a step farther by becoming an MK Ultra. $3.99 a month gets you a membership, gets you access to priority commenting, bonus content, the Discord chat, and more. Just $3.99 a month. Support this show. You can find us on the internet at Kickaround on X, Instagram, Blue Sky. Write us an email, morningkickaround@gmail.com, or find us as a podcast on your favorite audio platform.